Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily and today we are doing my October TBR. I love October. I'm really in the mood for the spooky season, fall season, absolutely my favorite time of the year. So let's get into it. So first I'd like to give a huge shout out to Allie from Hardback Hoarder. She created a bunch of really cool like bingo templates, and she has one that has prompts on it, and then she has ones that are blank for you to put whatever you want on it. So I really like all the designs she does for these every year. This year I decided to utilize one of the blank ones, the one that has like 25 spaces including the middle free space. So here it is. I have taken prompts from like multiple different readathons and other prompts that I thought would fit in with the books that I'd like to read this month. And I wrote them all down, then I took a random number generator, and that was how I filled it in, so that it wasn't like in any particular order, just randomized. But this is what I came up with. I'm gonna go through each one and tell you a book that I have planned to read for that one. These are liable to change. I am a big mood reader, but because there's so many on here and I want to really get to all of them, I don't think it should be a problem this month. So let's get started. So we're gonna go from left to right and we'll just keep going down the rows. So the first row we have horror. So for this I'm going to be reading the Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. All I know about this is that it takes place in Pennsylvania. This family moves back to a hometown. They have a son. Weird things start happening. I don't really want to go into too much about these books. I really just want to go in without knowing hardly anything. I just want like a vague sense of what the book is about, enough so that I could pair it with these prompts. So the next one in that row we have Gothic setting, and for this I'm going to go for Dark and Shallow Lies. I can't remember the author's name, but it'll be up here, I'm sorry. I chose this one for this one because Louisiana to me is a Gothic setting, and anytime there's like spooky books set in Louisiana, I immediately think, oh, Gothic setting, you know. So that is essentially why I picked this one for this. Again, don't know a whole lot. All I know is that it takes place like around swamps, and I don't know if this girl's best friend has gone missing or if she's dead. But I found this one on someone's Instagram post, and so I'm very intrigued by it. So that one will go for that prompt. The next prompt we have is paranormal / supernatural romance. For that I'm going for Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. I love her Pestilence series, and I've read some another series by her, and I can't remember what the name is. It's a really long title. Anyway, but I really have been meaning to get to this one. It has to deal with a siren, I think, and fae, and it takes place in like the modern world, I believe. But that is also on my list. Next we have Something You Fear. This one was hard for me because it's hard to find books with things that you fear without like reading it and already knowing. Like I kind of went for a vague answer for this. So I'm going to be reading Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Call, I believe her name is. This doesn't come out till sometime in October, but it's I think a novella or like a short story, and it has to deal with these group of friends, I think, and they go to this house and it's haunted by this bride that was killed or is dead or something. And I hate the thought of like living in a haunted house. Absolutely not. All I can picture sometimes is like me being alone and it's dark out and weird noises are happening, or I see something out of the corner of my eye. Nope, not for me. Ain't happening. No way. I would be out the door so fast. Like, just drop everything and leave. Like, it's not happening for me. Sorry. So the last one for this first row is Slasher, and for that I'm going to pick The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I just read Horror Store by him at the end of September, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I have high expectations for it. I hope it doesn't let me down, but this is essentially a bunch of slasher girls have this support group, but then someone starts killing off the final girls, and I've heard really good things about it. I've also heard a few like negative things about it, but I love slasher films. I love slasher books, so this is just right up my alley. Moving into the second row, the first one we have is Diverse Rep, and for this I'm going to be reading My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is Books and Lella's book club book for October, so I'm hoping to get to this so that I can watch the live show. I know that this is another like slasher book, so this features diverse characters, and it follows this character who is really like a nerd for slasher films, anything slasher, and then I think something starts happening around where she lives and she is determined to figure it out. Again, love slashers, right up my alley, just like Final Girl Support Group, so I will be attempting to get to this one this month. Next I have Spooky Graphic Novel, and for that I am going to go for Spell on Wheels by Kate Leth, Megan Levins, and Marissa Louise. So I have already read this one multiple times, but I like to read this one around this time of the year. Every year it's got witches and spooky fall vibes, and I absolutely love the stunning artwork, so this is on my TBR. It also helps that it's a short graphic novel, and with 20 plus books on my TBR, I'm going to need some short books. So next is Witchy Vibes. For this I have These Witches Don't Burn, and I can't remember the author name. I'm sorry, there's just so many books, it's hard to keep track of all the authors. I apologize, but it should be on the screen here. And all I know is that I think there's like this coven of witches, and someone ends up doing like blood magic or something, and it's causing all kind of problems, but I know it's female relationship in here also, and I think they have to work together. Like I think they were broken up or something, and then they have to work together maybe to help stop this other witch. Again, not really sure, but definitely have had this for a while on my Kindle app, so need to get to that one. Next on the list we have Set in the Fall, and for that I'm going to be reading Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Roel. I've also read this already. Again, I love the fall vibes, and can we just look at this, like the artwork is stunning, and I need more short books on this TBR, so I'm happy to give this a reread. It's been a while. The final prompt on row 2 is a book with blood on the cover. For that I'm gonna go for Camp Slaughter by Sergio Gomez. I could be completely wrong. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But I heard about this from Gabby Reads, and I've seen it pop up around a lot more since then. But essentially another slasher, but it's like a cannibal is loose in the woods around this camp that a bunch of like college students go to. So again, up my alley. I am really excited for this one. It's not really that long either. I might try to get to this one closer to weekend ween so I can participate in Gabby and Olivia's readathon around Halloween. Starting off in our third row, I have Supernatural Main Character. For this, I'm going to go with Savage Bonds by Jay Bree. I did not get a chance to get to this last month. It came out September 28th, and I was trying to finish up a bunch of other books, so I think this will probably be one of the first books I read this month. It has a reverse harem, so it's also a romance, but it's like supernatural and paranormal-y. These characters like all have different powers and stuff, and so I thought this would be perfect for this prompt. Next we have Mystery Thriller, and for that I'm going to be listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I've been really wanting to get to this one since it first came out, but I kind of wanted to just wait for all of them to come out because I figured that I was going to love this. It is on my 5-star prediction, so that's not a bad thing to put on my TBR, and I'm excited to get to this one. I know it's like a murder happened, but this one girl doesn't think that all the answers are there and that that person they accused of it actually did it. So she's setting out to write, was it her senior paper about this murder that happened and who could possibly have been responsible. So I might be wrong with the synopsises, but that's what I know going in, so definitely excited to get to this one. So in the middle I put Trick or Treat, and for that one I normally it's like a free space, but I kind of wanted to do something special because there are so many books I really want to get to. So for that I put Trick or Treat, and for this I'm just gonna pick something that I really want to read and that I couldn't put into a different prompt. Like I could have, but other books fit better in them. So for this, I'm going to go for the Mary Shelley Club. This book came out earlier this year and I didn't get to it yet, but I thought this was going to be perfect time of the year to finally get to it. I know it's these girls, I think they have a club, the Mary Shelley Club, and they do pranks, but then something happens and they start turning really bad, and I don't know if there's murder or not in this. Perhaps. I don't know. I think so. But anyway, that is my treat for Trick or Treat spot on the bingo board. Next we have Creepy Clown. And I put this prompt on here because I have one clown book that I really have been meaning to get to. I didn't get to it last year. Heard really good things about it. And that is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but we're going with it. Obviously, Clown in a Cornfield. I know it's like a town and something about killer clown or this clown or clowns. Slasher is all I know, really, I guess, about this book. So again, up my alley, love slashers. Anytime I come across one, I'm going to pick it up and give it a try. So that's what this is. So last in the third row, we have vampires, and I'm really excited for this one because the book club in my town that I do at the local library, our book club pick for this month is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I seem to just be getting through all his books because I even have my best friend's Exorcism too that I'd like to get to this month, but after all these other ones. But I know that this is about a book club and that I think they think a new neighbor in town is a vampire because all these kids I think have been going missing, or all these people. So I'm happy to get to that one and talk about it with my book club that I go to. Next on the starting off in the fourth row, we have Creepy Cover, and for that I'm going for Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis. I mean, look at that. I know I have some other books on my TBR that also have creepy covers, but I couldn't fit this one anywhere else, so this is where this one's going, and it does have a creepy cover. I hate looking at it. I'm just gonna read on the back this short little bit. It says, a creepy, can't put down thriller about a daughter of a horror film director who's not afraid of anything until she gets to Harrow Lake. I don't want to know any more than that. I haven't heard the best things about this book, but I'm still willing to give it a try, and hopefully it goes better than it did for some people. Next we have Demons, and for that I'm going to be reading The Devil Makes Three. I can't remember the last name of this one either. Again, on the screen. I know that it's a girl. I think she finds a book and opens it and she sets the devil free. So then her and this other kid have to try and I think send like the devil back. That's all I know about it. Found it on Instagram on someone's post. Looked up the synopsis. Really enjoyed the synopsis. So I'm very excited to get to this one. It's also high up on my TBR. Next we have Black Cover, and for that I'm going to go for The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I know that this is like a sorority of witches, and that's all I know. I know Becca and the Books really enjoyed this, and some other people enjoyed it. I'm happy to get to it. I've had it for a little while, since the beginning of the year, and I've been waiting for spooky season to get to this book. Really, to get to all of them, honestly. Next, I have Haunted House, and for this one, I'm going to be reading White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. This girl moves to this town, she moves into this house, and something is happening, and then something is also going on with this town. Don't know anything more than that. It's diverse. Heard good things about this author. I heard it has good writing. I'm super happy and excited to finally be picking up a book by this author. I've heard so many good things. So, and also, can we just talk about the cover? The cover is absolutely stunning. So, this is also very high on my TBR. So for the last place in the 4th row, we have spooky middle grade. For this, I'm going to be finishing out a middle grade series, and that is The Empty Grave by Jonathan Stroud. This follows Lucy and Lockwood and George, and they hunt ghosts essentially. They help send ghosts away from haunting people and harming people, and in the meantime, they're uncovering like bigger and bigger plots that are happening. And the end of the last book was so, like, felt cliffhangery almost, just because something big was revealed. So I'm really, really excited to get to this last one. I am a little sad that this is the last one, but I want to see what each previous book has been building up to, and I just love these characters. If you haven't checked out the series, the first one is The Screaming Staircase. Next we have Spooky Word in the title, and for that I'm going to be reading The Dead and the Dark by Courtney Gold. I know it's like this girl's family are paranormal investigators, kind of like Ghost Adventures, I think, and she moves to this town, or they come to this town, and I know that this is also female-female relationship, but weird things are happening in this town, and I think this girl's parents are being accused of these things happening. Again, beautiful cover, and it's super hyped, and I am very interested to see what it's all about. Next we have Read After Dark, and for that I want to read Hydra, which is the second book in Matt Wazlowski's 6 stories series. And it follows this guy who does a podcast and kind of goes over some true crime cases and stuff, and the first one was so good. I remember it creeped me out on some parts, and I've just been waiting for this time of year to come around again so I can get to the next one. All I know is that it has something to do with I think like a mass murder at this farm or something. I could be completely wrong, but again, super excited. The writing is great, they're quick reads, and I can't wait to get to this one, and I will be reading it when it's dark out, so I'm hoping it gives me the like chills and everything while I'm reading it in the dark. Next we have LGBTQ+ Rep, and for that I'm going to be reading They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I've heard nothing but good things about this mystery thriller. It's like a college professor, and she, I think, murders once a year. She murders men that are bad or have done bad things, and no one's ever caught her or anything. I know this is female also. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. I'm super excited to get to this one. The hype has me really wanting to know what it's all about. Next to the last prompt, we have Murder, and for that I'm going to be reading Night Film by Marisha Pessel. I think this is a murder happens, and this journalist is brought in to kind of look into it. That's all I know. I've had this forever on my shelves. I think because it's like almost 600 pages, I've just not picked it up, but it is filled with like mixed media, different things, so that should help it go by quicker. I've heard really good things about this one. I see it on people's, TBRs all the time and recommendations, so this one hopefully will happen this month. Finally, we get to the last spot on my bingo board, and that is Set in a School, and for that I will be reading A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. Another female relationship in this. I think this one girl's girlfriend died, and I don't know if she was like into like witchcraft or something, but the girlfriend comes back to the school and wants to figure out what happened, I think. Again, not quite 100% sure of that synopsis, but I think the cover is stunning and really want to get to this one. It has the dark academia vibes going on for it, so looking forward to trying to get to that one. So that was all the prompts and books on my bingo board that I have chosen. Will I get to all of them? Probably not. Will I still try? Absolutely. I want to get to all these books. I've just been waiting for fall and spooky season to finally read a lot of these books, and I know I can read them throughout the other year, but there's nothing like reading spooky, creepy books during spooky, creepy season. So that was all of those. I do have a couple other books that I don't think or know if I'll get to, but I'm just going to run through them. I'm not going to go over any synopsis. They're just going to be here. Will I regret putting all these books on my TBR? Probably one day if I do something with these videos later on, but first we're going to say Vicious by V. Schwab is also something I'm thinking about picking up this month. Also, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. I really need to get to A Court of Wings and Ruin so that I can get to A Court of Frost and Starlight. And then finally catch up by reading A Court of Silver Flames. And these are all by Sarah J. Maas. So again, the, almost 30 books on my TBR. Yeah, I think that is 30. Will I get to all of them? No. It would be nice if I could, though. That would be a great reading month for me. I'm only 10 books away from reading 100 books already for this year, so that's exciting. I have some really fun videos planned. Hopefully everything works out for me this month. But thank you for watching my video. Like the video down below if you liked it, and subscribe if you would like to. That would be very appreciated. And I will see you next time in my next video. Bye!